loves, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be all about the Moleskine 18-month daily planner. So this planner I picked up at the start of July, and I have intentions to use this planner when we do go home. So right now I'm in a position of reconstructing my planner system, not only for the rest of 2023, but also for the first couple of months of 2024, and also just in general for 2024. Because we are leaving and I am going home and I won't be able to take everything with me. I need my system to be very simple and I need it to be something that is easily accessible. So accessories, inserts, things that I can just pick up from my local hobby store or just local staples, like anything. And so I have dropped my system down to 4 things that I think I can bounce between for the 6 months that we're going to be gone. And one of those things happens to be this Moleskine. So the outer cover that I have is an Erin Condren zip folio. This is the A5 size. If you have not seen it, pretty sure most of you probably seen it, but if you haven't, it is the Erin Condren zip folio, and it is made for, I think, a coiled planner. However, it does fit the Moleskine, it does fit the Moleskine 18-month daily, but it is a little big. I did have a different zip folio on here that I picked up when we were living in Germany from the brand Box Clever. And that zip folio I just kind of grew tired of. I just kind of grew tired of the neutral blue. And yeah, I kind of wanted all my planners to kind of correlate and look alike. So I went with a pink theme for the last 6 months of this year. So everything that I have now is pink. So the only thing that I hate about this cover is that it is like the cloth, because I feel like if you spill something or sit this down, it definitely is going to show all the dirt. So I try not to, I don't baby my planners, but I try not to get them jacked up either. So yeah, I put a little charm that I got in Happy Mail some years ago. I put a charm on the zipper because if you can kind of see, I don't know if you can, but this zipper actually can go all the way in there and you'll have the hardest time trying to get it out. So I put this little hanging charm on here just so it was easier to get in and out of. Otherwise, I wouldn't have a charm on here, but it helps. So the inner workings of this planner system. So I have a journal here, and then I also have tucked behind it is a weekly book, which is a 12-month weekly book, which I've kind of dated, and we'll talk about that. I also have a Moleskine Cahier book tucked away in the back, and that is a book that I'm using for brain dumps, I'm using for grocery lists, I'm using for random notes, things that I can just throw away, things that I don't care about. So that is primarily what that notebook is all about. If you hear my son in the background, I think he's throwing a fit, so I do apologize, but hey, that's mom life. So this planner is basically like my daily to-do, daily log, daily something. It captures a lot of stuff that maybe I wouldn't have put in like either my disc bound system or my personal rings. It's just basically like the bare bones of my planning, like the running list that I like to keep all the time. And that's kind of how I've geared this. Moleskine also has made a couple of changes to this planner. They have included archival stickers, which I will show you where I have them labeled because I don't have the little sticker sheet anymore. But they've included 3 different colors or little stickers in 3 different colors. And basically you can pop those stickers on the spine of the book, on the inside of the book, or just on anything that you want to archive. They're labeled 2023 to 2024, but then you also have the engraving of the year the book starts and ends as well. So for all of those, or all of you who are bullet journalers who like to archive your journals at the end of, finishing it, then Moleskine has provided those little stickers now that you can either put on the spine if you like to keep your books on the shelf. So I've done a couple of things to this planner to make it function a little bit more. I always say that the Moleskine Daily is like the perfect planner because you have your monthlies included, you have your dailies included. It doesn't include the weeklies, but you can always supplement with a weekly book. And it has some basic things that can be very useful. It lacks a couple of things, like maybe a real perpetual calendar and things like that, but these are all things that you can add in, and I'll walk through what I've added in. So like I said, those are those archival stickers. I put one on here, and then I also put one on the little weekly book, which I will show you guys when we get to that area. So I'm going to bypass this page because my personal info is on it. So like I said, the Moleskine Daily kind of lacks like the perpetual calendar, which a lot of us do use for future planning or planning ahead. They do kind of give you like some little area here where you have the last 6 months of the year, and then a little space for you to capture notes and things. But this kind of layout for me doesn't necessarily help. I do like highlighting important dates and then maybe noting them down here, but sometimes having a perpetual calendar that you can pull out and physically, you know, like see like this helps a whole lot more. So I took the liberty of printing one out from the planner spot, and then I taped it in, and yeah, I filled it out. This is one that I also have in my personal rings as well. So yeah, and basically all I did actually to just go back through this is all I did was put in some of the most important dates to me, some vacation dates and holidays and things like that. So the biggest thing that Moleskine has that most people hate is a month on one page. A lot of people hate that, but I actually don't mind. I do wish that it was a month across 2 pages, but I don't mind it. I have learned to work around having the 1 page month. So what I usually do is I use like a color coding system for like appointments, major events, things like that. And so here I've used my color dot stickers that I usually get out of sticker books that I get from like Hobby Lobby. They always come with little icons in the back of them, and I just utilize a lot of those little stickers that most people don't really care for. I utilize them and just make the best of the little dots and stuff that they include in the back and little icons, because they can be very helpful, especially when you're planning in such a tight space like this. So this is July and this is August. I've already kind of pre-planned and set up for August, as these are or were too busy, or sorry, as July was busy, but also August is going to be extremely busy, as that is our last month in this house and we will be leaving. So yeah, lots of stuff happening. So I did the stickering. I wasn't initially going to do that, but I also discovered that Moleskine changed their paper. And I only noticed it because I did end up using my color dot markers from Ohuhu. I ended up using my markers and was pleasantly surprised that I didn't get as much bleed through as I typically would have gotten, and as I have gotten when testing out those markers on the Moleskine paper. So they've definitely changed the paper. Not sure if this is going to be a permanent thing, but the paper quality is a little bit better than it was in recent years that I've used it. So yeah. So you just have all your months. And then this little tab here that I have actually turns to the timetable page. So this is a page that most people don't usually use. This is a page that most people usually cover up or skip over or glue together or whatever. And yeah, I decided that I was going to use it. So I had originally printed this out when I was using my plum planner earlier this year. It is an ideal week, and I had never got around to filling it out, but lately I've been wanting to fill it out and just have a general idea of like what our week actually looks like and all of that. So I went ahead and I filled this out, and again I used my Ohuhu markers, which you can see they bleed through pretty bad. They bleed through the plum paper planner. They even bled through some of the Happy Planner paper. So yeah, they bleed through just about everything, which is unfortunate because I literally bought them to replace having to have sticker dots to always color code. But yeah, they bleed through very bad. So I did go ahead and use this on this since there's nothing on the back, and I filled out what our actual week looks like. Right now we have appointments, so our actual weeks look like pretty busy. We have a full schedule. My son's on a routine. He has a set time in which he gets up every day. He has a set morning routines. He has an afternoon routine. He has an evening routine. And above all of that, we have our own individual routine. So our week is pretty busy. And then Saturday and Sunday, we try to just wing it. We just try to have a normal, just relaxed kind of a day. Even though we still follow a routine, it's two of us most of the time. So we try to have a more relaxed time. So what I did is I mapped it out here, and then I transferred the final draft here. So in this spread, I've broken it down between AM, PM, and evening. Since this timeline goes to 24 hours and this one is just broken up by hours, I just copied them so that they would look the same, since that made more sense to me. And so I've done all of the things, all of the times in which we do things, and then I color coded what each thing is so that it made more sense. And so this is our ideal week as of right now. And it's pretty busy, but if we could hit everything on these hours all the time, we would be done at a decent time of the day, and we would be able to go to sleep at a decent time at night. But it never happens this way, but this is ideal for us. And again, I used my Ohuhu markers, and as you can see, not too bad on a bleed through. I was pleasantly surprised. This green marker and this little darker pink marker literally always bleed through just about everything really bad, and it didn't bleed through as bad. So I don't know, Moleskine definitely changed their paper this year, and I don't know if that's going to be a permanent thing, but I hope it is. And again, I just stuck a little Avery tab here so that I could quickly glance at this. It's not something that I need to see every day, but it is something that I can glance at for reference. So I tabbed out the Moleskine daily planner in the daily section, and I'm missing like 4 months because I ran out of tabs. So I have to get more of these from Hobby Lobby. But I went ahead and I tabbed out what I could tab out, and yeah. So I have July, and so far using this, I have just kind of been using it as like a daily log. It's been notes, it's been brain dumping, it's been random list, it's been everything. It's been what we're eating for the day along with what the weather is for the day. It's been everything. And primarily on Saturdays and Sundays, I don't usually have a schedule. So what I do is I usually just take notes and make a list of things, and maybe I'm writing reminders, or maybe I might write a snippet of some sort. But primarily what I do is I make a to-do list, and when I don't do something, I literally highlight the thing that I'm not doing or haven't done. So that way it's more visual for me, and then I can just move it over versus scanning through this and then having to realize like I skipped something that I didn't move over, or having it look like this is just better visually for me. So I've been doing that alongside, like having like my to-do list and things like that. Sometimes I don't always have my planner with me, so I like to take random notes and stuff on sticky notes because they're easy. I can grab them out of my desk really quick. I can take them with me. There's always going to be a pen somewhere in the house, so I can literally do that, and then I'll pop them in here when I get a chance to sit down and plan. Sometimes I just have like my little sticky notes or something just lying around, and I don't get a chance to like really journal per se. So I like write little snippets about the day or something that my son might have done that maybe he was working on or we were working on. I'll talk about it. So it's kind of like a memory in a sense, but I don't really do the whole memory keeping in here anymore. So yeah, this is what a typical daily spread would look like. It would have our schedule, which I only do the schedule Monday through Friday and not Saturday and Sunday. Like I mentioned, the weekends are pretty much not busy at all. So I basically just do our schedule Monday through Friday. And I break down everything that we may have going on. And so, like I said, this is our ideal week. This is what everything would look like. But then this is what the realistic day would look like with all the appointments or added extras that would be added into that day. So yeah. And then again, just wrote my schedule, wrote my to-do list, wrote little notes in there. So these are what my daily pages have looked like for the past couple of weeks and days. You'll see that there are a lot of sticky notes, a lot of highlighter, and primarily what I like about it is that it's just pen and paper. And doing this year has helped me so much. I still like stickers and I still use stickers in different planners, but the things that I use for family and like the things that I use on a more consistent basis are things that I don't typically sticker up as much. Sometimes I might throw in some stickers or I might decorate a spread or something like that just to break up the monotonous of seeing the same type of spread every day. But basic pen and paper just works so well for me. And yeah, it's just what's been working for me this entire year. So I just stick to it. And like I said, this is what has been helping so far. So you'll see that there are some other things that are included in here. I have this little appointment sheet. I kind of showed it in the last Plan With Me video when I was planning in the Happy Planner. Basically what I have, if I can find one, I don't think I have any more. Let me see. I don't have any more appointment ones, unfortunately. But basically, they're like these little papers. They're supposed to be sticky notes. And what I do for the appointment ones, rather, is that when we have a week of appointments, I just kind of list out all the appointments at the start of the week. And then I just check off in red once we complete those appointments. A better visual of that is coming up. So I'll show you what that looks like. So this was yesterday, which was Monday. And then this is the appointment sheet, like I said. So I taped this down and this was the start of the week. So we had a bunch of appointments already. So we had one yesterday at 12. That appointment happened. And then we had one today, which they're labeled. So this one says Speech Therapy Tuesday. This one was supposed to happen, but it didn't happen. We did speak with her, so we're gonna have to change that one, and I will highlight that one to note that it is being changed to another day. But I started doing that because although the Moleskine has a lot of things that I like about it, it doesn't have a space to write like future appointments and things like that, which again, the perpetual calendar would come in handy for that. So that's why I tipped in that perpetual calendar so that I could add in things, future plan. And then I also just repeat it by adding sticky notes, noting stuff visually like this so that I'm not forgetting it. It's not getting lost in all of this. And this is just how my brain functions. Like visually, I need to see stuff to not forget, because I will forget and I will overlook stuff when it's not like in plain sight. So yeah, and then this is today's daily page, and this was our schedule. and then I'll go in and I'll make my little notes when I do my sit down, like my planning for the evening and plan for tomorrow. So yeah, so that is the daily portion of it. Moleskine also included something that I think we've all been asking for, which is a couple of note pages. If you've been using the Moleskine planners for the past couple of years, like I have, then you know that they usually just have like the last page of the year. And then there's no notes pages, but this time they included at least 4. So you have 4 blank note pages. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then technically 5 because this last page says notes. But it's kind of like attached to this cardstock page, which a lot of people don't like. So I'm going to say 4 because you can still use this side of the note page. And you can use these back pages to basically do anything. You can take or tip in your trackers, spending logs. You can do whatever because they're blank. And so you're not competing with lines or anything like that. So definitely take advantage of the back pages if you have this planner or you're thinking about getting this planner. I know that it starts in July, but there's plenty of, space in here to pick it up. You can do a little bit of note taking in the July pages. So don't hold back on this if you're on the fence about getting it, because it is literally like the best thing I've started and have been using this year. So to combat not having a weekly, I showed this in the budget traveler's notebook video. It is basically just like a little yearly booklet. It goes from year 2023 through 2024. That is the year that I started this book and labeled it for. And then I popped one of those Moleskine stickers up there so that I knew which year it was in. This also has a perpetual calendar, so I like this a lot as well because, again, repetition. I like being able to see things visually, and I like being able to log things as need be. And so I have it labeled out from July to the next year. So what is that? July through June of 2024. And primarily this book is just weekly. So this is how my weekly pages look. And this is what I've been doing across all of my planners. So if you've been following me, if you've been paying attention to my planning over, the course of this year, then I've been splitting my weekly pages or my weekly into like 2 parts. So one part is for appointments and the other part is for like reminders, notes, or miscellaneous things, packages, anything. And then I only do it for Monday through Friday. Like I said, I do the schedules from Monday through Friday because those are usually the days in which we have things going on. Those are our most busiest of days. And then the weekends are literally just like free days where we just kind of take everything a little bit slower than we typically would Monday through Friday. And this is primarily what this looks like. I don't like that I did this here, but hey, it's down on paper now. And yeah. So yeah, that's what the weekly book looks like. And then this journal I'm not going to show because it is kind of like a morning's pages kind of book. Maybe I'll show it once it's completed, but I don't want to show it now because it's fairly new. It's something that I just kind of picked up, and it wouldn't be exciting to see a half-used book and, a lot of blank pages. So I'm going to hold off on that for now. But that is the Moleskine planner setup. That is the setup in here. And yeah, so far I like it. The Erin Condren folio has like all of these pockets, which I absolutely love. Like you have this mesh pocket, then there's a smaller pocket behind it, then you have the secretarial pocket, and then you also have this little secretarial pocket in the back, and you have these little pen loops that I'm not using because they would kind of bump up against this and not be able to close, because the Erin Condren has some hard like stiffeners in the front and in the back, and then the back it's kind of padded, which I don't know why the back is padded and not the front too, but the back of it is like padded with hard cardstock. And so this planner is very stiff, and it keeps everything, including like papers that I slip into here, just put together and like untouched because it's so protected, which I absolutely love. So what I've just been doing is clipping my most used pens, which are these little big pens over here in the pocket area, and that tends to work for me. So this is the planning system, you guys. This is the system or the planner system that I wanted to share with you last Tuesday, but then most of you who follow me know that I got the Happy Planner Classic and I was all excited to try it because you guys know I don't like the Happy Planner products. I like the accessories, but I'm not too thrilled about their planners. But yeah, that's what I picked up this year, which was another Moleskine. And yeah, I kind of love it. So I thank you guys so much for watching. I got a couple of questions in the last videos that I posted, and I'm definitely going to answer all of these questions in video form because I definitely feel like a lot of this is just too much to type out, and I can definitely do like a sit down video where I answer a lot of these questions. And as I get questions that have like extensive parts or more to the question than I can type, I just write them down on sticky notes. That way I can kind of like follow up with that and it not get lost. So be patient with me, please, as I do take time to try to film. Our family is going through a little bit of a transitional period right now, so I just ask that you be a little patient with me and look for those videos in the future. But nonetheless, I thank you so much for sitting down and taking some of your time to watch, and I thank you all for watching, and I will catch you guys in my next planner related video. Bye guys.